Hello, welcome to the channel here. Welcome back to the channel. It's great to be here. I'm glad you're here to share the time with me. Regrets, I've had a few. Not with this channel though. This channel has been great. Why I say regrets, I've had a few, because I'm doing a song again today. And maybe by the words regrets, I've had a few, it might come to your mind that I'm doing the very famous song sung by many, maybe most famously by Frank Sinatra, the song My Way, which I'm featuring here today, My Way. So I want to pick some of the parts of that song and feature that today in today's song explanation. What do these lyrics or parts of these lyrics mean? That's what I'm here for today. So we're going to pick out some of these parts of these lyrics, and we're also going to work on our pronunciation and our linking on them. Then I want to compare the different speakers we've featured here before. They'll be back here again in different parts of the world, and their pronunciation on these expressions and phrases as well. And then I'll just go to the meaning here at the end, and I give you a chance to practice as well. So My Way is a favorite for many people. I hope you like the song and enjoy the song and enjoy the video here we have for My Way. First, let me introduce, I picked out, I'm looking at the board here, I got 9 of these phrases, or 10 of these phrases. Anyways, let me go through the list first, and I want to work on linking and pronunciation. So the first one is face the final curtain. Face the final curtain. You got 2 F's in there, face the final curtain. Not as much for linking. Pronunciation, just make sure you make that proper TH on the, face the final curtain. Curtain as well can be tricky in the regards because we have our R and, actually just an R in that one. Curtain though, be careful with that. Make sure you make that R sound in the middle, curtain. So face the final curtain on the pronunciation. The next one up is state my case. State my case. Now you can link it together with the my case, with the Y vowel sound there at the end. My case and state my case. State my case. After that we've got I've lived a life that's full. I got a lot of L's in that one. I've lived a life that's full. I have, of course, contracted to I've lived a life. Now the D at the lived into the into the L for life. Lived a life. Lived a life. I've lived a life that's full. Make sure you make that proper L pronunciation in there. We don't have any R's to work on. I've lived a life that's full. And the proper TH there on that's, a little stronger TH sound, that's full. Next up is saw it through. Saw it through. I can link that pretty well together too. Saw it through. Saw it through. See, saw, past tense there. And the through, make sure you make that proper TH through. Saw it through. I'll get to the meaning on all these later as well. I'll also work on more on the pronunciation. Next up is bit off more than I could chew. Bit off more than I could chew. You could link it there. Bit off more, especially the bit off more than I could chew. Bit off more than I could chew is the expression. Bit off more than I could chew. After that we have I stood tall, which I'm trying to do right now as I'm being filmed. I stood tall. I stood tall. Not too difficult on the pronunciation, I believe. Just make sure you make that proper tall L sound at the end of tall. After that we have the record shows. The record shows. Not so much in the linking there. We got an R for record. Be careful, make that proper R. Record. The record shows. And lastly, I took the blows. I took the blows. I took the blows. We'll kind of link in there pretty well. Took the blows. The K sound is very short and leads into the B sound. I took the blows. Leads into the sound. I took the blows. Again, we have a the, the pronunciation on that, and blows, the final S on blows is more of a Z pronunciation as well. I took the blows. We'll get into a little bit more on the pronunciation at the end when I give you a chance I definitely want you to work on the pronunciation. That'll come up at the end of the video. Okay, everybody, that's on the introducing the phrases for today from my way and pronunciation, the basic pronunciation and linking here. And next up, we'll be listening to 4 speakers, our regular member cast of foreign speakers, I'll say, except for the last person, he's Japanese. Let's listen to the speaker from Canada, then the speaker from America, then we have our UK speaker, and finally our Japanese speaker on the same phrases. Let's listen to their pronunciation. Here we go.
I face the final curtain. State my case. I've lived a life that's full. Saw it through. Bit off more than I could chew. I stood tall. The record shows. I took the blows.
I face the final curtain. State my case. I've lived a life that's full. Saw it through. Bit off more than I could chew. I stood tall. The record shows. I took the blows.
I face the final curtain. State my case. I've lived a life that's full. Saw it through. Bit off more than I could chew. I stood tall. The record shows. I took the blows.
I faced the final curtain. State my case. I've lived a life that's full. Saw it through. Bit off more than I could chew. I stood tall. The record shows. I took the blows.
Okay, everybody, great. I hope you enjoyed the pronunciation as always. As always, I hope. And I'd like to get into the meaning of these, and I'm going to work on pronunciation of these as well. So first off, for my way, I had the expression, face the final curtain. Face is the come face to face with something. It's right in front of you. And like a show, the curtain comes down. So when you face the final curtain, you're at the end of something. In this case, it could be at the end of the person's life singing the song. I face the final curtain. My days are short is the idea. So my final curtain. Life had a long life, and many curtains come up and down. This one's the final curtain. So at the end of something, face the final curtain. And then I have state my case. State my case, meaning there is you want to give your feelings, opinion on something, and state your case. Tell it as it is, how you feel it is. You state your case. Give the facts on something, basically, about yourself. State my case. After that, I've lived a life that's full. So, facing the final curtain, so I can say that my life has been full. It's been a good life, a long life. So I've lived a life that's full. The meaning there, you're satisfied with what happened, what went down in your life. So I've lived a life that's full. Again, no regrets, but just a few. After that, we have saw it through. Past tense, see, saw it. It is something, the situation. Through means you didn't give up, you didn't stop. You were there until it completed, until it was finished. You stayed with it. You saw it through. So the idea there is that you did not give up on something and you stayed there, you stuck with it until the end, which is very important. Good words to live by. After that, bit off more than I could chew. Now, bit is a past tense of bite. So, and bit off more than I could chew. And chew is after you get the food in your mouth, you have to chew it before you swallow it. So, bit off more than I could chew is, it took a little too much on there. Maybe I did too much, I overdid it. Maybe I went too far on something. It was difficult to maybe accomplish it. Maybe I shouldn't have taken on so much. Maybe I shouldn't have gone that far with it. It was a little bit too much for me. So bit off more than I could chew. At the end, if it's successful or not, depends on the situation, of course. But bit off more than I could chew. A little bit, another expression here, which is good, over your head. Say, you shouldn't have done so much with it. Okay, everybody? Next up is I stood tall. I stood tall compared to where you bend down or get down to your knees or break down or fall down. So I stood tall is I stood up to whatever the trouble, the problem was. I faced it and hopefully accomplished it. It did not defeat me, is the idea. I stood tall. Or if it did defeat me, I stood tall, didn't back down. I didn't run away from that situation. I stood tall. Nice expression there too. The record shows, now there's no actual record here, but if you look at the facts of the situation, the record shows I did it my way. So based on what people know and believe, and the facts are there, the record shows, like an actual recorded message or recorded the situation of something. So the record shows this is actually the way it was, and no one could or should dispute that. The record shows. After that, I took the blows. Now, blow has different meanings, of course. The wind blows is one thing. This blow here means to be punched. I took the blows. I was hit. So I received trouble or so, or the criticism, or the actual physical violence. I took the blows. So it wasn't easy for me. I was hit. I was punched. Somebody tried to put me down. So I faced many great difficulties. I took the blows. In that case, I was not knocked out. I was not defeated again. I took the blows and was able to overcome that. Okay? That's the idea. Past tense, of course, took. I took the blows on that expression, which is good. It shows that you really have a strong heart. Okay, everybody? Those are the expressions. I hope you're good with the meanings on these. And I'd just like to work on the pronunciation of these as well from my way. Let's go through from the top again. Let me say it first and repeat after me is probably the best way. So face, number one here, face the final curtain. Face the final curtain. Okay? And next up is state my case. State my case. That was the second one. State my case. After that, I've lived a life that's full. I've lived a life that's full. Then we have saw it through. Saw it through. After that, bit off more than I could chew. Bit off more than I could chew. I'm giving you time to repeat after me as well. If not, just put a pause on there and come back if I go a little bit too quick on these. After that, we have I stood tall. I stood tall. Okay? Followed by the record shows. The record shows. We should get the proper TH on the and record. Remember the R and L pronunciation? Record. The record shows. And lastly, I took the blows. I took the blows. Got the and make sure you get that the blows. Also the S at the end of blows is more of a Z sound as well. I took the blows. Okay, everybody, that's going to wrap everything up. I've got the linking in, we got the pronunciation, we hopefully got the meanings good. And also we're able to compare pronunciations from different speakers. Practice on this and head off when you feel it's safe to go to a karaoke box again and work on My Way. It's a fan favorite around the world. I know it's very popular in Japan. So try My Way next time, see how it goes. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Thanks for being here, and thanks for liking and everything else that you do for our channel here. We appreciate it. We'll be back here again soon. Until then, everybody, have a great, wonderful day.